to another exciting episode of Technovation Show. And as you know, Technovation Show brings you matter science, innovation, technology, and ICT. And this particular episode, we are going to major on ICT. Today, I am at Ngamia Ngamia Africa. Talk to the CEO, Mr. Jonathan Dede, and this company has two products that is ICT based, and we are going to learn what they do and how they solve a 21st century problem. My name is Samson Jura. Hello and welcome to this episode. But first, let's have an introduction of Mr. Jonathan Dede and tell us what Ngamia company is all about. Mr. Jonathan, shukran sana kupatia muda wako siku ya leo. First of all, a brief introduction of yourself, then tell us about Ngamia company and what you do.
Thank you, Samson, and welcome the K.U TV team. My name is Jonathan Dede, and I'm the CEO of Ngamia Africa.
Right.
Yes.
So when was Ngamia established, and what was the reason behind it, before we talk about the two products that we are here to feature today?
Now, Ngamia Africa was started in 2019, and we're going to be 3 years now in August 14th. And actually, the company is an ICT company that is developing software platforms for businesses. And one of our anchor application is Hauling, which is an e-transport platform that is supposed to support consumer and service providers who are the transporters in the ecosystem. Yes.
Being an ICT company, it means you've got a couple of innovations and a lot of things that you guys are doing for you to be sustainable, not forgetting that it's every Kenyan duty, every Kenyan's duty to adhere to the Big Four agenda, as well as the Vision 2030 and also the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So you as a company, how are you making sure that you are at par with all this?
So as a company, we know very well that there are players in the same field we are in, in terms of transportation, and their value propositions and competitive advantages that I think my company is bringing to the field. One of these is pretty much to create employment, to address the SDGs, and also to give the people in construction, when you look at the four agendas of the government, so that their commodities or products can reach the destinations from where they are bought. So Ngamia came up with the Haulers platform, which is facilitating the requests of customers who are the consumers, and those requests are actually sent to the transporters. So the transporters in the ecosystem can be transporting produce from the farms, can be transporting construction materials, and can just transport items, personal items for customers. So when that happens, we give an opportunity for transporters to bid, meaning that they would put their prices. So Ngamia in itself, in its application, do not force prices. So there are market forces that actually drive that. The next advantage on our platform is we do payments on the platform, meaning that there's no extra payment or out-of-system payment that we facilitate. Once the transporter gets the job, he'll get payment on the platform. So as a company, we are building trust, where the consumer and the service provider converge to do business. Okay, before we continue, I'd like to commend the fact that as we came in looking around your offices, most of the people that are working with you are young. That is one thing that we commend you for that. Now, about the two products that has brought us to talk, that has brought us here today and to have you on the show, that is the Ngamia platform as well as the Maki. But before you react to that, why was the company named Ngamia? Then you react to the other ones. So we have founders who came together to think about transportation as a business, because they were involved in transportation and there was actually gaps when it comes to fulfillments of transportation needs. And which means if you move from Nairobi to any part of the country, you'd probably come back without anything to carry. So there's lack of information in the whole ecosystem to transporters to know where commodities are or items are to be moved. And Ngamia as a company, got the name Ngamia because this is one of the animals for centuries that have been used for transportation. And when you look at even the Kenyan map, the northern part of the country uses Ngamia as transportation means. So it has resilience, and actually it will probably reach you where you want to go. So that's the resilience we are bringing into the market space, and that's the convenience we want to bring. That if you pick us as a company to do movement, then we have the ecosystem of drivers, transporters, who can actually make the things happen for you in terms of transportation needs. So the name Ngamia is the transportation that has happened in centuries with the animal, the resilience they have in the whole industry of transportation, and the convenience they give the people who use them. Yes.
Now, about the two applications, that is I'd say the brainchild of Ngamia TM. So, Maki and the Ngamia. But first, tell us what Maki is all about in detail.
So our core application pretty much was haulers transportation, e-transportation.
Right.
And then, as an IT company, we are looking at what we call the 360 degrees product vision board. And when you are trying to do business in an ecosystem where the software development, the ideas of developing platforms come. So during COVID time, there was low business in the transport sector. And since we have young people, as you just said, from our local universities who actually do software engineering, they can actually code. So what we needed to do was to think outside the box and give a platform that would facilitate advertisement for SMEs. Because we know there are a lot of SMEs in the country that are doing different things that also feed their families, they're creating wealth and also creating jobs. And we realize most of the advertising platforms that exist in the country are foreign companies. And if they go to media, big mainstream medias, it's too expensive to advertise. So Ngamia came with a product called Maki. And Maki means is a marketing process where you put your products there in a visual manner to entice people who wants to buy. Okay? And when that happens, meaning that they need to have frequent visitation to our platform to see who is there in the market space giving products to be bought. So those products can range from agricultural, from clothing, from any other business channels that exist. So that's how Maki came about. I've told you before that the inception was, we are 3 years into the making. And as a startup, in the business, people do not do business because you exist. People do business because you've been there long enough, because there has to be some kind of integrity and visibility that you have. So people buy from businesses when they know what you do, meaning that there has to be some element of marketing advertisement that you've done. So when you start business, it would be very hard for you to do business within the first few months. So you have to have a very long runway in terms of financing the processes, business processes in terms of developing the application, and just even running an office, the operations aspect of it. And all that does not go without challenges.
Right.
The first challenge you might get is whatever you're doing as a technology company might not fit whatever people need. So there's what we call the product market fit. And that takes time. You have to expose our products, you have to expose your product to the people on the field to test it and give you feedback, then you adjust. So we did that for almost 2 years. So now we are going 3 years. That's when now people start to appreciate what we are doing. So it takes time. So during that time, you have challenges, both financial to run the company and also human capital. That you have a little bit of attrition because you get people who come, they might believe in what you're doing, but also there are other factors that are driving them to leave the company. So you have to be very, very consistent, and persist on what you're doing. Another challenge is when you come to the transporters, Kenya has got very good penetration of network. So people have got cell phones. But do people know how to use mobile phones for business? Now, you should use mobile phone for business. Most of the people use it for entertainment. But when you use it for business, you realize that there's a lot of leeway that you can achieve as a business. And one of the things that our application gives is the ease of use. And we can always just advance on that because our need, whatever we are developing does not necessarily mean that it fits whatever the customer would wish to have. So there has to be some element of training that we keep on doing to our transporters. How do they receive the notification? How do they bid? How do they do the transactions? So that comes with capacity building and training, and that takes time.
Right.
Another aspect of it is like people in transportation, some of them have got two phones. They have the mobile phone, which is the smartphone, and the feature phone. So our application do not take care of feature phone, meaning that we are not in tandem with some of the transporters who've not embraced the technology in terms of mobile smartphones. As a company, the successes we have are very breathtaking. We have at least a number of downloads that we've achieved through our platforms, both on the Google Play Store and the App Store. And this is across our platforms because we've actually uploaded our applications people can download. So before, when we started, you'd get like 100 downloads, and we were celebrating that. Now we are bragging of almost 3,000-4,000 downloads onto our platform. And again, if you look at the traffic in terms of people who are visiting our sites to just know what we are doing, that number has increased. So we've done that through all this advertising and also just engaging ourselves on social media that would give them an indication of what we are doing as a company. Then another thing that is really impressive is the softwares that we're developing are very impressive for millennials. And those millennials, you realize that they always have mobile phones to do transactions or do business or just to be on the know of what's happening. And our social media pages have also gained traction. And that one we've done through digital marketing that would really improve our businesses. When you look at now the whole as the e-transport application, we have 1,500 transporters on our platform. And out of that, as I told you, there are some hiccups in terms of the usability, the capacity building or training, and even the phones they use. So we have 500, and even more who actually transact on our platform.
My name is Moses, and I'm about to take you through the Maki app, which is available on Android and iOS. Today I'm going to take you through the iOS version of the Maki app. The Maki app gives advertisers and consumers visibility on various products and services. When you open the Maki app, there are various menus and functionalities available to you, which include the exploring different or various categories which you can explore. You will also get a snapshot of what is trending near you, and as you proceed you can also view what you've recently been looking at. Upon navigating and browsing the Maki, you have the availability to contact the advertiser on Maki based on the advert they have put up. There are different descriptions available, and we give you additional information on their social media and how to contact them. You have different social media channels which you can contact the advertiser by, and also we give you the ability to call the advertiser. Maki is also available on the web version on maki.africa. When you browse maki.africa, the web version, you have the ability to to see the same adverts, and also for advertisers looking to advertise with Marquee, they have the option to tap on the advertise button to get advertisements. So when you tap on the advertise button, you will land on the advertiser portal. The advertiser has various functionalities like seeing the number of ads they have, the lifetime impressions they have, the lifetime clicks they have. Creating an ad is easy. You can just tap on the create button, attach an image or video, enter the title of product or service you're offering, select the category, enter a brief description, and enter your contact details. Once you enter your contact details, you are able to select from the various advertising packages that are available and proceed to pay. Once you pay, it takes 48 hours for your advert to be reviewed and published by the Ngamia team. I would like to take you through the Haulers platform. The Haulers platform has 3 apps: the customer app, the transporter app, and the driver app. All are available on Google Play and Apple Play, the Apple Store. I'll start with the Ngamia customer app. The Ngamia customer app allows the customer to make requests on the Haulers platform. Transportation request, it can be furniture moving, it can be building materials, it can be office moving, and so on. Making a request is as easy as using the request button at the bottom or using request at the top. Making a request is easy. You need just to put in the pickup location. It can be an example, Ngamia Haulers. When you select the pickup location and destination, I can use maybe Yaya Center. You can select the transport services. That might be agricultural services, building material, furniture moving, hardware items, house moving, and so on. So if you select a service that you're moving, you will get to select the pickup date and time, and then you choose the vehicle. We have various vehicles available for you to select. You can select the vehicle that you prefer. If you have alternative contacts that you need to input at pickup and destination, you can fill that data. And then finally, you can enter a brief description of what is being transported. After that, the transporter will get your service request, and the transporter will be able to place a bid for your service request. Once you get a bid, you'll be able to proceed and make payment for the bid. So looking at my dashboard, I have various services already. Can navigate to the history to see the jobs that have been accepted and or bidded for. When I tap that, you can get more information to look at the bids. When you look at the bid, you'll be able to see the number of transporters who have bid and the amount that you're supposed to pay for. Once you accept for one particular transporter, the transporter will get the notification and you'll be able to proceed to payment, and your transport will be fulfilled. That's it for the customer app. Now we can transition to the transporter app. I would like to take you through the Ngamia transporter app. This is the app that both organized and individual transporters use to fulfill the customer's requests. Once a customer has made a request, the request will come on the dashboard, and if there are no requests, you can pull down to refresh. Now, once you see a request to be fulfilled, you will see the request details, the type of vehicle needed, and the date it was posted, and you proceed to make a bid. Making a bid is easy as tapping on place bid, selecting your vehicle, and entering the amount you wish to receive. So for this case, I'll use 1,000 as a service provider. Once you input the amount you wish to receive, you will get an estimate preview which shows the amount you wish to receive, the charges Ngamia will be taking, and the amount that is being bidded for. So once you proceed to place the bid, both the customer and the transporter will get a notification. Once you go to the requests and your bid has been accepted, you go and proceed to perform the service request. For organized transporters, the driver will be making the service request. That means that they're the ones who will be doing the delivery, and they have the functionality to start and stop a service. For an individual transporter, all that functionality is bundled up into the transporter app. Besides placing the bid and fulfilling the service request, the transporters can also manage their assets. You have the driver section and the vehicle section. On the driver management or the vehicle management, you can see your available vehicles, both that are active and inactive. For the driver section, you'll be able to see a breakdown of all the drivers you have under you. And that's the transporter app. Now we can have a look at the driver app. Moving to the driver app, the driver app is used by organized or corporate transporters who have a fleet of vehicles and a lot of drivers. Once the driver receives the request and payment has been made, they'll be displayed on the dashboard as new jobs. And the next step for the driver would be to select on the service that needs to be fulfilled, select the vehicle that they will use to fulfill the service, and start. A driver cannot start a service unless payment has been done. If a driver starts the service before payment has been done, a pop-up will be shown to indicate that the customer needs to pay for the service to begin. In short, that's the driver app and its functionalities.
As it is the mantra on this particular show, I hope you've learned something new out of this episode. You can find us on YouTube on Technovation Show to find all the previous episodes. If you wish to be featured on Technovation Show, or rather know someone who could be featured here, you can find us through Gmail. That is technovationshow2020@gmail.com. My good name is Samson Jura, and until next time, das vidania.